Hey, welcome back to the Big Red Zone. New episodes come out every Wednesday. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Quest for 100 subscribers is still going. Leave us a rating on iTunes and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Big Red Zone. And most importantly, Danny Football, tell a friend.
One friend.
One friend, that's all we ask. This is the Big Red Zone. Welcome to the podcast. This is the Big Red Zone. I'm your host, Big Red. As always, I am joined by Danny Football.
Welcome to the Laser Show.
Producer John.
Yo.
And this is a action-packed episode. We got a lot to unpack today. We got Super Bowl Sunday coming up. The big sad news that we kind of saw coming of Dustin Pedroia retiring. No one's getting into the MLB Hall of Fame. And there was a Celtics game, a couple of them. So we'll get into that stuff. A lot to unpack. But first of all, you may notice something new about me. I didn't get my hair done.
New mic.
New microphone. Thank you to all the subscribers for helping me get it.
Thank you all for your donations.
I bought it myself.
You got a new microphone.
I got a new microphone. It's beautiful.
It has an arm. You don't have to hold it anymore.
I have a couple of them.
Three arms.
I got 3 arms over here.
Yes, sir.
And I got this thing, whatever this thing's called. John says I don't need it,
Pop
but
filter.
I like to play around with it. Said take it off, so
I only use mine because I bought it. So
yeah. See, Dave Football looks like
I was like, I'm not going to let this thing go to waste.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I wanted to put it on there because I bought it. No, you told me not to. So
No, yours is on an arm though, so it looks better without it.
What's yours on?
A little stand.
Stand. I like it. But it's nice. It's now. I feel like
beautiful. It's official,
beautiful
dude.
thing. I'm throwing this microphone stand away. No, I'm not. It goes actually to fun fact about it. A little behind the curtain thing.
Insider baseball.
This is a little insider baseball. I'll just drop the other microphone. This is actually a mic stand from the game Rock Band that has been gracing my presence since we started doing Zoom.
Shout out to Rock Band, right?
Rock Band.
Get that sponsorship money, guys.
In fact, Beatles Rock Band. Any Beatles fans out there, leave a note in the comments.
Paul McCartney, at you.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I loved it. I found a new use for it.
Now you can do like, if you get really aggressive, you can like pull in the microphone, and when you're like disgusted, you can push it away.
Oh, I see them do that on the Felger and Maz do that all the time. That's ridiculous. I shouldn't do that. I just got it. I don't want to.
I was really worried you broke it right there.
Yeah, it took a while to get that set up. Shout out producer John for helping put it together about 5 towns away.
Yeah, it turns out it was just a switch.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? Well, without further ado, let's get into the first segment, which is kind of a biggie. I would say it's the biggest game of the year. Super Bowl preview. Cue some kind of music, John.
I was going to say, you said that like we have an intro.
Super Bowl preview. Can we legally call it the Super Bowl? Who's going to sue us, though?
The bowl of soup.
The bowl of soup.
The bowl of soup. No one's going to say
I like when people call it like the big game because I can't legally say it.
Is that a true statement? Are we going to get in trouble
I'm pretty
for calling it the Super Bowl?
I think it's Buffalo Wild Wings that can't call it that, right?
Yeah.
You also can't use like March Madness and other stuff like that. You have to call it like the tournament in March or something like that.
Well, that's stupid.
But not here on the Big Red Zone. It's the Super Bowl.
Well, we emphasis on the sue because we're going to get sued. No, I don't think they really care. But if you really want to get into it, the bowl of soup. Tom Brady to his 10th bowl of soup of his career. What is the key for the Bucs? Actually, Danny Football, start with the keys for the Chiefs that you think they have.
Keys for the Chiefs. I want to say they need to be able to get that offense going. I think what we've been seeing throughout the playoffs is that the Bucs defense is heating up at the exact right time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be important for the Chiefs to get off to a hot start, especially because last year and especially this year, they've been falling behind in those first couple quarters, the first quarter especially. So I think it's going to be big for them to maybe get some points on the board in that first quarter, get a good couple of drives going, get Mahomes established, get the weapons established, and really put the pressure on Tom Brady to have to get into a gunfight and really see what we can do here, because I know the Bucs defense is going to be coming to play. So I think it's going to be huge for the Chiefs to get off to a good start.
Completely agree. Looking at the Bucs, I think their key to win is the defense. That's been the question mark all year for them. And it's getting hot at the right time. Like you said, it's that hot goaltender going into the Cup finals. So as long as that stays, they can contain that prolific. Is that the right word?
Prolific.
Wow. Scrabble word. Contain that offense, like you said, with Patrick Mahomes. I think they'll be in good shape, because I think that offense on Tampa side is just as good. They got, hopefully they got AB playing. Chris Godwin, if he can catch the ball, will be good. Mike Evans, if he catches the ball. Like, I feel like they got a lot of good weapons there, and they got TB12 leading the helm. Yeah. So
it might come down to whoever can get the biggest stop or a takeaway. Right.
Correct. So we'll have to see. I bought into the Bucs, man. It's like my question marks for them were never about Tom Brady, and the question marks that I had are kind of answering themselves. So it's going to be a good game. I think this is going to be, as much as I would have liked to see the Bills in there, I think this is the game that we all wanted to see.
I think this is the biggest media market game the NFL could have possibly gotten. I mean, you're getting the Chiefs, who has the promised son in Mahomes, and you're getting Tom Brady with the rebuilt Bucs, who are playing at home and have a chance, Big Red, to be the first Super Bowl team to win in their stadium.
Isn't this the first team to play at home?
Mm-hmm.
So they could be the first. They're already the first to do it. They can be the first
to win it.
Real quick before we move on, but did you hear that clown? He's an enemy of the podcast. That clown Nick Wright.
I did not. It enlightened me.
He said, I don't quote, but he said that you could argue Patrick Mahomes has more Super Bowl experience than Tom Brady for this game. Yeah,
that was in one more recently, or
he said because he played one last year under the same system with Andy Reid, and he has the familiarity. Tom Brady didn't play last year. I guess that's it, and it's in a new system.
Okay,
what buffoonery is that? He's such an idiot. This guy is a moron.
I mean, he does realize. I mean, I get what he's trying to say, but this is Tom Brady's 10th Super Bowl. The dude knows what the hell it takes to win this game.
Right.
He understands
different people every time.
He had different offensive coordinators. He had different defensive coordinators. He had different players. He never really, if you think about how spread out some of those Super Bowls were, he had completely different teams.
Right.
Completely different schemes, completely different offenses every single time he was there.
Right.
So I get what Nick Wright's saying, but at the same time, like,
it's idiotic.
If the Bucs were a cohesive unit enough to make it here, what the hell makes him think they can't just win this game?
Dave Football, let me throw this scenario at you.
Mm-hmm.
We both like to, we like to put some money down on some stuff. We've been known to gamble. Maybe the stock market a couple of times. That was hot.
Oh my
God!
Year. Hold the line.
We like to gamble a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
We've dabbled in the game of poker, right?
Okay.
I think we've dabbled. If I go to Twin River Casino, and I play in a big poker tournament, I play poker this week, and I go next week for a poker tournament, and the World Series of Poker winner from Vegas comes and plays in Twin River Casino next week. That's like me saying I have more experience playing poker than the guy that just won the national tournament.
Well, Big Red's played at this table before, and he knows
I played the table last week. I won one tournament.
He knows where to sit. He knows the dealer.
It's like
and then the World Series of Poker guy is like, you do realize I've played on a million different tables, right?
Yeah. It's like me going to like some poker night and then like having some guy come here that's won a bunch of tournaments saying I have more experience than him. It's not. The guy that's been there the most times has the most experience.
It's just Nick Wright trying to,
He is a buffoon. That is what
he's
it
just
is.
being,
A moron.
he likes to go against the grain. He likes to be the cool guy that.
You know why? It's because his only saving grace in sports is the Kansas City Chiefs. And
Well, he's not.
doesn't want them to
I
lose.
would venture to say he's a fake Chiefs fan. I don't
Oh, he's
remember.
100%.
I don't remember this guy being a big Chiefs fan when Alex Smith was the quarterback. So I really do question his fandom of the Kansas City Chiefs. I know he's from there, but I really do question how much he actually put into the Chiefs before Patrick Mahomes put them on the map.
I bet this is unconfirmed, but sources say his first Chiefs jersey was a Patrick Mahomes jersey. I just want to say that. Unconfirmed. This is just rumors started right now. His first jersey was a Patrick Mahomes jersey. He's a fake fan.
A great man once called him an angry little man.
He sounds smart. Like whoever said that. he's an idiot. I can't take, and I honestly, we'll save the Celtics talk for later, but I can't take the slander of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown anymore.
It's his bread and butter at this point, man. There's no stopping him.
It's like the Max Kellerman off the cliff.
Yeah.
But the funny thing about the cliff was
Max Kellerman walked that back. I have to give him credit.
He did apologize. He's admitted he was wrong. I can't wait for the wrong. It
takes a big man. Takes a big man to admit when he's wrong.
And
Nick Wright is not a big man.
He's an angry little man.
Mm-hmm.
But moving on, let's get positive for a second. You know what I mean? Let's get positive.
Get that positive sandwich.
Get the positive sandwich. We had the positive in the beginning. We had the negative Nick Wright in the middle. That's going to be what we call him from now on. He has a few nicknames on the show, but negative Nick Wright. That's
just
put it on a T-shirt. Now the positive. We just said we like Super Bowl. Super Bowl brings a lot of betting.
Toss some money around.
The thing I love the most is the prop bets. And so that's why we're going to do a little segment we like to call Prop Bet Madness. There's no music for this, but I'm going to pause it and see if anything goes in there. Maybe some circus music. I don't know.
Oh, my God.
If not, you can just play my...
How come I have to make new themes every week now?
I don't know.
We need to get new segments, dude.
It makes them tell friends.
All right. Big Red, MVP. Who do you got?
I got to go with a guy that's won it before. He's up there towards the top. Thomas Brady. I'm foreshadowing a little bit of who I think is going to win, but I think Tom Brady's going to win. Usually goes to the quarterback.
I was going to say the same thing.
But I'm going Tom Brady.
I'm going to foreshadow my pick as well. I'm going to say Patrick Mahomes. I think, it's the Super Bowl. They tend to just give it to the quarterback, like you said. Because last year, I can't remember who went off last year.
The running back, Damian Williams. Was it Damian?
Yeah, Damian Williams
earned.
He had a game and a half, and he sealed the game, and they still gave it to Mahomes.
Or like when the Falcons came back. I mean, Tom Brady did earn it because he set the record of everything in the Super Bowl. But James White definitely was.
Right. Malcolm Butler should have had it.
Malcolm Butler,
the Seahawks
exactly.
one, and then Deion Branch somehow took one a couple years ago. But you want a hot take? I think Patrick Mahomes has the ability to win the MVP despite even if he loses the game, he could still get it.
That's just foolishness.
Because
that's just
the NFL
silly.
loves Patrick Mahomes, and they'll find a way to get him another trophy.
That'd be nuts.
Roger Goodell will come down from his castle upon high and be like, "Well, if he lost the game, we got to get him another trophy."
The last thing that Roger Goodell wants to do is hand Brady another trophy.
Right. So he's going to be like, "I'm going to give it to Patrick instead."
I think that's crazy. I don't think there's a chance of it. Now, I will say, if the Chiefs win, I think one of the receivers has a chance to win the MVP. Because, they're probably not going to give it to Tyreek Hill based on his, how we say, antics off the field this past offseason. But, when you look at Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, they each put up over 10 receptions, over 100 yards, in some cases 150 yards, and a couple touchdowns.
Kelce's a good candidate too.
Kelce could win the MVP if the Chiefs win, and he has a big game, obviously. But it's gonna be close. I think it's gonna come down to the quarterback, and it's whoever wins. I don't think Mahomes will win it if they lose. But moving on to our second prop bet. or third, I should say. This is a fan favorite. What color of the Gatorade will it be dumped on the winning coach?
I'm going to go with orange. It was orange last year, so I'm going to ride the hot hand. I'm going to go orange.
Orange is the leading. Orange.
Orange is a good one, dude. I feel like they like orange.
They do. I'm going to go with lime green or yellow.
Lime green.
Yellow. Okay. Because I feel like I've seen it a few times. Orange is a big one. Orange usually
I think blue was a big one last year too.
Blue's actually the lowest odds.
Ooh.
Orange is the highest, followed by red. Clear water is the third one, which I don't. It's always Gatorade. And
it's a Gatorade bath, dude. It's always a regular bath.
Right. You want a regular bath? Go home to the shower.
Hit the showers, baby.
I think it's gonna. Something just drew me to.
I like lime green.
Drew me to the lime green or yellow. More options. Over under. Tony Romo saying, "Let me tell you, Jim." It's set at 2.
Oh, and
you got to hammer the over there.
Hammer the over. He's gonna blow through. Let me tell you, Jim's
at the first 2 minutes.
The first drive. If anything, he's gonna destroy this over under.
He's definitely gonna say it.
Slam the over on this.
Slam it. Take it from Daddy Football. Slam the over. Length of the national anthem. I guess it's the over under. Sung by Eric Church and Jasmine Sullivan. It's at 120.5 seconds.
A little over 2 minutes. Half a second over 2 minutes. I'm going to say under. I was a big over guy last year, but it was significantly under last year. So I'm going to ride the under.
Really?
It was significantly under last year.
It was under last year?
Significantly
Maybe I'm thinking
under.
of 2 years ago.
Significantly under.
Because I would hit the under either last year or the year before.
Last year, it must
have been 2 years ago.
Last year, I was convinced it was going to be over, and then I timed it when the game was going on. It was way under.
Really?
They blew through it.
I'm going to go the over.
Okay.
Something I've learned about the national anthem, you always hammer the over. But apparently
over 2 minutes, dude. That's a long time.
That's a long time.
Anthem.
Eric Church?
I don't even know who that is.
The country guy.
Oh.
He's a country western, not country.
Yeah, I think he's blue collar. He's going to get this done. He wants to see some football. He wants to see some football.
It's also a duet, so you know what that means. They take the time to let each other
they're going to have to back and forth.
So it may take a little time. They give a little thank you. They hold that note out for a little bit. Eric Church plays the guitar a little bit. He gives it a couple extra seconds at the end. I tell you,
banjo.
Over. Odds that Eric Church will wear sunglasses during the national anthem. I'd go yes.
All right, so I had no idea who he was, but now that you mentioned that he's a country guy, he's 1,000% going to wear sunglasses.
All these famous people wear sunglasses.
1,000% going to wear sunglasses.
Let me tell you something. If they're wearing sunglasses inside, they're definitely going to wear sunglasses outside. Let me tell you that. They're gonna wear sunglasses. Hit the yes on this one. Yes button on that one. All right, here's a little halftime show question. First song performed by The Weeknd at the halftime show. I guess that's it.
See, I'm a big Weeknd guy.
Oh, you have some insider knowledge.
Big Weeknd guy. I love Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night. So I'm gonna go Blinding Lights. It's his latest hit off the newest album, and I think that's how he's gonna open the show, man.
That's a good one to get it started too.
Right. That's what I'm thinking. Like he hits everyone with like the new song that everyone knows, and then maybe he goes into like his old stuff like Hills Have Eyes, and
he's definitely gonna play Starboy.
Starboy, Can't Feel My Face. So I think he opens with Blinding Lights because it's the more recent hit, but then he kind of works his way back.
I think that's a very good call. For the sake of debate, I'm going to go with Can't Feel My Face.
Oh, all right. Pulls out a classic. Okay.
He pulls out a classic to start.
Now,
and then he ends with I think he ends with Starboy because that's like a good like end song.
True.
I don't know.
I think he'll at least break out Blinding Lights and In Your Eyes from the new album. It also
makes sense.
I also don't know if he's gonna.
What about Heartless? You're a guy. Heartless. That's the only reason I say that. That's second.
Yeah, he'll use Heartless. He'll definitely use Heartless. Yeah.
The 6 songs that they had were Blinding Lights, Heartless, In Your Eyes. This is in order, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Starboy, Can't Feel My Face, and Pray For Me.
Pray For Me. I didn't even think of that one.
I think blinding. I think you have a good
Blinding
chance
Lights
with
is a
Blinding
good
Lights.
opener.
But he
It's a
may
good
say
opener.
screw you prop bets and say
He
go
could
with a
do
different
that.
song. He may go Starboy because that's actually a good one to start with. That's like a good like upbeat one to get everyone going.
We're gonna have to see, dude.
We'll have to wait.
I'm actually very excited for this halftime show.
I say King of the Fall.
What?
King of the Fall. I think he comes out with a banger.
King of the Fall. That's not even on here. You're playing the field there,
I think
John.
he comes out with a banger.
You're playing the field.
Or Crew Love with Drake. Well, I don't think he'll open with it, but
He's not gonna.
imagine.
Yeah, he won't open up with a duet or like bringing out someone.
But mine's King of the Fall.
I like it. We all like different songs.
I like it. Odds to perform with the Weeknd's another one since you mentioned Drake or there's some other classic people. There's a lot of hype. Everyone's saying that Ariana Grande is going to come out. Who do we think? John, are you a big Weeknd guy? I'm assuming.
Yeah, I like the Weeknd. I was kind of more, not to take the hipster route, but I was kind of more on him before, like, Starboy.
Hipster alert coming from the producer John.
I kind of liked him during when the trilogy kind of first started dropping his mixtapes.
All right. Well, I'll say that you're a fan. I'll take that as a fan. We know
So you're beauty behind the band this weekend.
Not even. I'd say Trilogy and Kissland.
Oh wow, that's really early. Holy shit.
Zach, who do you think's coming out with him?
Give me Future. Give me Future. I want Future out there.
Future's a good one.
Maybe Future will give us a little Life is Good sample, and then we'll all feel good about ourselves.
I like it. Producer John, you said Drake.
I want to go Drake. I mean nuts.
I feel like Drake would have to be his own thing.
It's true too.
I think
That's
Drake would
true.
say like I want to come out
Ariana
myself.
Grande too, though.
Ariana Grande would do like she would come out with someone. I think she would.
Yeah, would she tell you that?
Yeah, she did. Insider trading. I want to go Ariana Grande, but I also want to go this Lana Del Rey.
Del Rey. It's crazy. I don't know who
Lana Del Rey
is. She's one of the most famous artists on the planet right now.
Obviously not too famous because I've never heard of her.
Oof.
Yeah, but you listen to Kenny Chesney all day.
I like The Weeknd.
Just out.
You know who I love? You know, this is probably not going to happen. But I would love for him to come out here as Post Malone. I'm a huge Post Malone guy.
That's a really good pick.
I would love Post Malone.
Dude, you have no idea how hard I pull every year for Posty to do the halftime show.
You know how great that would be for
damn year.
If it's sponsored by Bud Light, he'll be there.
I freaking
no, but he's also what else? He's also another sponsor. He does those the other commercials.
Oh God!
What's the other ones he does?
He does Bud Light. He does Bud Light Seltzer. He does he did Doritos.
Oh, Doritos. That's true.
Who was the performer last year?
It was was it Alicia Keys? No, not Alicia.
Keys. No, it was J Lo.
It was J Lo and Shakira. Yeah.
Oh, so who was the year before that?
That was
because I remember Big Boy from Outkast came out.
Let's pull him up.
Adam Levine.
Oh, all right.
Adam Levine did it 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm. He was the Pats Super Bowl. Yes.
Well, there's so many.
We should probably move on to the next question, but I kind of want to say
that was JT.
I kind of want to say Andre 3000.
Oh my God.
Nuts.
I would love for Post Malone to come out. What's it? A Pepsi?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's a Pepsi guy.
So Pepsi's sponsoring it. Bring him out. I would love it.
That's a really
Post
good
Malone,
pick.
if you're listening, jump out there.
I would love that Posty on there. I was in his top 1% of fans on Spotify. Holy shit.
Oh, wait. A couple years ago wasn't. Last year was Shakira.
Mm-hmm.
2 years ago was, no, it was Maroon 5.
Yeah, Adam Levine.
Yeah, Adam Levine.
Oh, Adam Levine.
Get the hell out of here.
I messed up. That's not what I thought.
And then before that was Justin Timberlake.
Yep. Before that was Justin Timberlake.
And then Lady Gaga was before that.
That's not Bono singing. That's you two.
No, there was there was a disconnect there. I thought he said something. You know, I thought he said Adam Lambert. That's really what I thought he said. I was there's no way Adam Lambert did it.
And then
all right.
Before that, I would think it was Yellow Card, and then before that was Katy Perry.
wasn't a yellow card. It was cold.
We gotta move on to the
Coldplay,
next
Coldplay.
question. We gotta go to the next question.
Looking at other, there's not really.
Oh, you know what's a good one too? Pitbull.
Mr. 305.
Not that I'm a Pitbull
He
fan,
did.
but he's always there.
Oh no, he got screwed at the Miami Super Bowl. They didn't bring him out.
Really?
He was supposed to be.
Yeah.
I didn't even know he was supposed to be there.
He was there. He was at the Super Bowl. They just didn't use
Last
him.
year?
Yeah.
That's a slap in the
They
face.
just didn't use him. They're in his
That's
city and they
embarrassing.
didn't use him.
They could make
That
it
is
up for him this
embarrassing.
year.
That's a good yeah,
that
they're
would make
in Tampa.
Real quick, just moving on because we got. I think next week we're gonna do a Super Bowl halftime show segment.
I'm more than ready for that, man.
We'll include the weekend and Posty for next week.
Oh, it's a fantasy draft? Like we can take anyone?
Yeah, we can take. Oh no,
Oh.
like of that's already performed.
Yeah, okay, that's what I figured.
We can't
He
just
said
pick
Posty. I was
whoever.
like, oh, well, Posty's
Well,
my
Posty's
top.
gonna come out this week.
Man, I hope so.
I can't wait for him to perform. My dad sidetrack.
He was my first concert, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
My dad loves Post Malone. Kind of random, but my dad loves Post Malone. He doesn't seem like a Post Malone fan, but he
Seems like a Post Malone guy.
I wouldn't peg him. He loves Post Malone and Lady Gaga, whatever that.
Whoa.
Lady Gaga
he-
has
he was-
bangers, dude. I love
Yeah,
her
he
halftime
does.
show.
Real quick, another classic prop bet. Will the coin toss be heads or tails?
Tails never fails, baby.
See, I go heads. I always go
Right,
heads.
50-50 shot.
You know why?
Hmm?
Because Slater said you always go heads, so I always listen to Slater. For basketball now, we don't do a tip-off. For high school basketball, you do a coin toss. So I tell the kids all the time, go heads. Don't question it. They went tails one time, and they said the tails never fails, and we lost. I was like, well, there you go. Tails does fail.
There you go.
I go with the mantra, tails does fail. No, it never fails. And who do you think wins the coin toss? 50-50 shot.
Who gets to pick it? Who's the visiting team?
Visiting team would be Tampa.
That's weird.
Yeah, isn't that weird? Tampa's
makes
the
no
visiting
sense.
team.
Well, it alternates every year.
Oh, it does? I thought it goes by record.
No, I thought it always alternated. I thought it was always AFC one year, NFC the next.
I thought it was by record. Well, let's Google. Google's a magic thing. Who is the home team? Oh, Tampa's the home. They say Tampa's the home team.
Is there a reason why?
Nothing fancy about the home team determination of the Super Bowl. It alternates each. Wow, good job.
Bang,
Alternates each
bang.
years from the AFC to the NFC. A year ago, the Chiefs were the home team.
There you go. So
It just
yeah,
ironically works out that the
so the
home team
Bucks are
wins
at
Tampa.
home and they're the home team. They get to call it. So yes, they're going to win it. Everything's going their way.
Yeah, I'm going Chiefs. Tom Brady will alternate. He'll take it at halftime, or he'll start off with the ball, and Chiefs will defer. I think it's time. All that leading up to this very important picks of the week.
Picks of the week.
Now, picks of the week this week is Super Bowl edition. We've kind of talked about it. We stink at it, but yes, this one, someone is bound to be right.
One of us will be right. One of us will be wrong.
And that will determine who has to move. No.
Oh, dude, if I get this right, we tie.
I don't think those are right.
Oh,
I haven't really been keeping track. We're both awful. That's what it. That's
winner
what it-
go home. Here we go. I'm going Chiefs. I
Wow.
think the Chiefs just have a golden horseshoe shoved so far up their butt that they're just going to pull it out. I think, like I said earlier, I think their offense will be able to get going. They'll get out to a lead, and it'll turn into a shootout. And I don't think old man Brady can get it done. And Patrick Mahomes repeats and walks out with another MVP trophy.
Now, for me, I'm changing it up a little bit. Months ago, I was quoted to say the Bucks would not win the Super Bowl, but that has changed. Their defense has changed. They're playing really well. Plus, if I'm going to put my money on someone to bet on, I got to put it on Tom Brady. I'm going Bucks in this game. Experience, yes, Nick Wright. He does have experience advantage over both of those clowns over in Kansas City. I think they're going to win, and it's going to be a good game. I'm rooting for Tom.
It is going to be a good game. That we're guaranteed of.
Now, staying in the football realm, getting a little bit away from the Super Bowl, there was big news, which kind of made it hard to focus during the Lakers game, Celtics-Lakers game. Matt Stafford got traded, which
Huge breaking news, dude. Huge breaking news.
Which is a part of a fan favorite segment, Watson Watch. Cue the horn, John. Matt Stafford traded for a huge return. I honestly, when I first read it, I was like, wow. And then I was like, I don't get it. So he got traded for what? 2 first-round picks.
Yep. So the Lions sent Stafford to the Rams in exchange for the Rams' first-round picks in 2022, 2023, a third-round pick in 2021, and their starting quarterback, Jared Goff.
Like, first question that comes to my mind, is Jared Goff that bad?
I've never been a big believer in him. I think he sucks personally, but, you know.
I don't think he's that good.
A lot of money.
But I think that's the reason they wanted so much for him was the money, but you can always send money. I don't get how this is like Matt Stafford. I will stand on a soapbox and defend a shoebox and defend him. Especially since that I think everyone's seen, if you haven't, go watch it, the mic'd up when he like throws out his shoulder and still throws a game-winning touchdown. Nothing fires me up more than that clip. But I don't think the drop-off is that big. The step up, I should say. He's definitely better, but I don't see the step up that much bigger from Jared Goff to Matt Stafford.
I agree. I think Stafford's better.
Yes.
I don't know if he's 2 first rounds, a third, and a starting quarterback better. But, I mean, it's the Rams. And the Rams' philosophy the last couple of years is to go all in, whether it's paying for people, trading for people. They just don't really care about the draft. They'd rather get proven guys. And I feel like Sean McVay just kind of reached the end of his leash with Goff. He was getting beaten out heading into the playoffs. And I think that he saw that Stafford was available. He liked what he saw. And he said, hey, we don't use draft picks as it is. Let's package a deal and get Matt Stafford in here.
But couldn't you argue to say, like, you could have gotten maybe instead of a third round, you throw in a second round pick, but couldn't you have gotten Deshaun Watson for that ransom?
Oh, you easily could have gotten Deshaun Watson for this package.
And wouldn't you want Deshaun Watson over Matt Stafford?
1,000%, yes.
So why did they go for Matt? I don't understand.
It could be a thing that Watson just doesn't want to go to LA. We know his favorites are the Jets and the Dolphins. Maybe the Rams inquired about it, and the Texans went to Deshaun, and he said, no chance.
Yeah, that's probably something to that. I don't think that's too far off. I'm shocked at the more I look at it, the more I'm surprised at the payoff that they got. They got so much, and it makes me nervous for what Deshaun Watson's going to be, like the asking price for him.
I mean, if this is what Stafford is worth, I can't imagine what Deshaun Watson will pull, man.
I heard that
first round picks, second round picks, third round picks. You're talking players, everything under the sun.
Now, the rumor is the going asking price is 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and 2 starting defensive players.
Oh my God.
That's the going rate. That's like the minimum that I think they're looking for, which means they probably want some more in there. Do we think the Patriots can still pull off this deal? Do they have the capital, first of all, to pull off the deal?
I'm going to check their draft picks real quick.
Well, they're picking at 15, like this year.
We have our first, a second, we have a third,
thirds,
3 fourths,
a fourth. That's what I'm thinking of.
5th and a 6th. So we can't give them multiple. I mean, we can give them a second in a different year, but
yeah, I think that's what they want. I think they want 2 years worth of first and seconds.
So we definitely have the capital. I just don't know if
they'll take it. Like, I think they could definitely. I would definitely 100% offer this trade. Like, I feel like you can offer your first round pick this year, next year, your second round pick this year, next year, and then throw in like a young defensive players like Winnow. As much as I hate to give up on like trade him away, I mean it's Deshaun Watson, and then maybe I put out there Stephon Gilmore because he's already trying to go. But
so you're doing 2 firsts, 2 seconds, Stephon Gilmore and Chase Winnow for Deshaun Watson.
The reason I say that is because I think once you get Watson, I think it opens up for you. I think you get Allen Robinson. I think you get a guy like, Hunter Henry. I have a feeling J.J. Watt is going to follow. I think J.J. Watt would.
Oh, yeah, he's on his way out too.
I think he would follow to New England if Watson went here because I think they have a good relationship. And he playing for Bill as a defensive player, I'm sure, is a dream. So I think he would definitely come here. And then a cornerback, I feel like you have some young guys here. You can go get a third round. You're going to draft your main starting players in the third and fourth round anyway. So you're going to draft a cornerback in the third or fourth. Plus, you can probably find someone at the free agent market with all the cap space that you have. Not to mention, you're probably going to get a guy like Hunter Henry and 2 receivers, like I said, like Allen Robinson, maybe Chris Godwin if he wants to leave. I think if you get Watson, the chips will fall behind him.
The real question is, will he want to come here? Because we know
that's a different question. I don't think so.
Where he goes.
I don't think so. Like Matt Stafford didn't want to come here.
Right.
Like why? But also, I think maybe the Matt Patricia thing wasn't negative.
That could have
we're talking about that.
Well, as you all know, he played baseball with Clayton Kershaw, so
maybe that's what it was. He wanted to go to. He's an LA boy. Maybe that's why he wanted to go play baseball with Clayton Kershaw. I don't think so. I think he's going to end up in Miami. I have a bad feeling that he's going to end up in Miami. It stinks. It's sad.
Buckle up, folks. We're not done yet. The off season's young.
Yep, we haven't even started yet. We're gonna get into it right after next week, and hopefully there's some good news that follows. But definitely ups the charge for a guy like Deshaun Watson with Matt Stafford getting that much in return. A real quick Celtics recap. They lost two close ones. Main one was the Lakers. Danny Football watched that game. I watched that game. That was a tough one to watch.
Two rough games, a loss to the Spurs, close loss to the Spurs, and an even closer loss to the Lakers. And it just comes down to the same thing. It was the theme of the year last year. It's the theme of this season too. We just need to close these games down the stretch, man. It's just rough possessions after rough possessions. I mean, putting ourselves in hold and digging ourselves out of them, especially with the Spurs game and then the Lakers game. It's the Lakers, it's LeBron, it's AD. What are you going to do? But I mean,
you got to win the Spurs game.
You're down 1 against the Lakers, the defending champs. You have a half decent look from Kemba. Tice can't finish at the rim. It's just a tough way to lose, man. It's just
the Tice one was a little late though. Like the Tice finish was after the buzzer. I thought pretty much.
I thought he got it up.
It was going to be close. I see. I think once the tip off, it was a great stop. Once they Jalen, I mean, it's a good look. What are you going to do? Kemba's going to knock it down. But as soon as Jalen caught it from being frantic, it should have been a timeout. We should have set up.
Well, apparently Tatum was calling for timeout in the backcourt.
Oh, really?
Tatum was calling for timeout as he was running up the court. That's why he never crossed half court. He was never in the play. Because he was behind the play calling timeout and it never got called.
Wow.
But my takeaway from those games was, I mean, you need to win these games, but it also shows we can hang with these teams. We can hang with the Lakers. We can hang with these Spurs. Dude,
I'm tired of the mantra, though, that we can...
We haven't had a full complement of players, man. You have to let these guys get healthy and play together.
You're right, but...
We're playing the Lakers within 1 point in Kemba, and we're finally getting this lineup of Kemba, Tatum, and Brown. You got to give it time.
Yeah, but, I mean, we've been saying you got to give it time for 4 years now. I feel like... Jalen and Jason are old veteran players. We got to find a way to close. I get Jason. I give a little bit more. I mean, I give Jalen a little break too.
Unless
but-
you're going to start wrapping guys in bubble wrap, there's nothing you can do to prevent this. I mean,
right.
Smart got hurt now.
That was a big one. And luckily, it's like he's down but not out for too long. It's only like a 2-week injury. But that was a big one. I like the wind came out of the sails of the like everything was going Celtics way at that point, and then the wind just came out of the sails.
That's what I'm saying. We got all of our guns back, and then we lose another one.
I just heard the wind of the snow just blow against the house. Sorry, big snowstorm going on right now. Yeah, I mean we gotta. It's just like I'm kind of. We need to figure out how to close these games, and it's getting a little ridiculous. Here's a question for you: would you trade Kemba for Bradley Beal?
Yes, I would. Straight up, yes.
There's going to be more in that. They're going to want
Beal
picks and stuff.
Beal is balling on a very bad team. As I say that, they beat the Nets. But he's on a very bad team. He clearly wants out. He clearly wants to play for a team that can contend. If you can somehow swap Kemba and whatever else you need for Beal, I'd do it in a heartbeat. He makes the team that much better. And, I mean, it eliminates a big question mark in Kemba. And will he go down again? Will he be playing the same as he used to? It gets rid of a big question mark, and it includes a big player in Beal.
I hate to give up on Kemba, and because I think he hasn't really had a fair shake at it because of just the injury problems. But I would definitely take the deal with whatever pick that you need to put in there. And don't forget, Danny Football, that's not even including the trade exception. So if you can get Bradley Beal and in another trade get like one of these bigs, it takes care of
That's
the
what I'm
two
saying, dude.
problems
Like
you have.
this isn't the finished Celtics product, and we're still holding the defending champs to 96 points.
We also gotta I want to see this move done soon. I mean, part of it was waiting for everyone, like the deadline, the date to trade players that sign contracts in the offseason, I think just came up. I think it was in or it's coming up. It's in February, maybe early February, like because they have a certain amount of time they can't be traded.
Mm-hmm.
So in the next month or so, we're going to start, I think, seeing more deals being done. And hopefully the Celtics can get in.
That's what I'm saying, dude. I don't think this is the final form of the Celtics team. And then once that form does come, that team's going to be dangerous.
Yeah.
Hang on, man. Just hang on.
So.
Hang on.
Hey, I'm right in there with you. I'm
Hang
not ready.
on.
I'm not giving up yet. I'm just saying.
We're broken right now, but we're playing pretty good and we're playing close games. It's one thing if we're getting blown up by the Lakers by 30, and then it's like, all right, clearly there's a problem. But you have a chance to win it at the end and beat the Lakers. You're doing something right.
You know what it's kind of like? It's kind of like at the end of Rocky 1 when he gets knocked down.
You got to get back up.
And he's like, they tell him to stay down. And then he has no eyes. All his eyes are swollen shut. And he gets away up to finish the last round.
Not us, dude.
I think we're ready.
You get up and finish that fight.
So I've put a pin in that for now, and we'll get back to the Celtics. This is another sad day. Our 7th grade hero, or my 7th grade hero, is probably a little younger for you. You guys, Dustin Pedroia. I have his jersey. It didn't make sense to wear it because you wouldn't be able to see. Dustin Pedroia, Petey, retired today officially from the game of baseball. Definitely a sad day, but not a surprise. We have been talking about this. Actually, Danny Football, every time he came on as a guest, when we talk Red Sox, he would talk about how Petey's done. And wanted him to become a coach, actually. I think that was the take you had.
I think that's what kind of took the wind out of my sails with the announcement today is, it's something that we've been expecting, and it almost feels like he's been retired for the last couple seasons. Hasn't played a game since 2019. He was out all last year. And, ever since the Machado injury, it's just never been the same.
Right.
So you see that.
I hate Machado.
You see that alert and you're like, oh, he's finally retiring. And yeah, it's the end of an era in a way because, this man was the heart and soul of those 2010s Red Sox. He was an MVP, a Rookie of the Year, multiple Gold Gloves. But
little guy, the OG little guy.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, like I see that alert saying he retires. I'm like, well, it makes sense. Like it's not like a shock Andrew Luck retire or
Yeah.
like a Jeter goodbye tour sort of retire. It's, he just
Mookie Betts gets traded.
right.
Or,
It was this guy's at the end of his rope and he's calling it a day. It was kind of like a right off into the sunset sort of retirement.
yeah. I mean, I think we all saw it coming. That's why I don't think it's not that like shell shock. It's just like, it's like, wow, it is over.
It's
like,
it's more like a realization that, okay, it's happening. It's real. After these last 2 seasons of will he, won't he, trying to come back, it's finally done.
It's like when Tom Brady played his first game in the Bucs. It was like, wow, it's officially like, it's like, it is done. Like, it's not going to happen again. Like that
Right.
time's over. It's sad, but it's time to look ahead.
Yeah, he was one of the last leftovers from the Big Papi era. So I mean,
yeah,
it's
07, like 07 Red Sox, like the 07 championship. He was there. Like it's
rookie season. Yeah,
it's the end of an era. It's really, really sad, but well respected. I think one question that comes to mind is, should he have his number retired?
I think he should. I think if you go through his stats, if you go through his tenure with the Red Sox, how many championships he had a hand in, I think it's a no-brainer to retire 15. He was such a constant presence at second base, in the lineup, in the community, with the fans. The fans loved him. I mean, he always gave 110%. The players loved him. MVP in his second year. He had the Rookie of the Year, MVP back-to-back years. I think based on that resume alone, he should have his number retired.
I think, first of all, Boston has a tendency, at least with the Red Sox and the Celtics, to kind of like, especially with the Celtics, with number retirement, are kind of like, Red Sox are a little different, but they like set the bar not low because all the people that had those number retired are legends and they deserve it, but it's not as high as other teams, I think. And part of that is because we have so many great players.
Right.
The other part of it is like with the Celtics, Red wanted to retire everyone's number. And the Red Sox,
pretty much if you had any sort of hand in winning a championship, you got your number retired.
Right. And then I think we've talked about this actually, me and you. I think this was with you. We talked about like changing the type of putting numbers back into circulation. I think that's what we said. But I think he'll end up getting his number retired. I think the main thing is he like embodied what it meant to be like a Red Sox person in the Red Sox organization. Like he embodied Boston, like gritty. He felt like Pedroia, like the way I say it is like you felt like Pedroia was from Boston. Like I have no idea where Dustin Pedroia is from, but it seemed like he was from Boston. Just how the way he acted, the toughness, like you just embodied what the city was about. Played his whole career here, like you said, Rookie of the Year, MVP. His stats, I know. Fellow fan of the show, Jack Moran, always says the one knock is like not knock, but he's upset is that last season he played, he knocked his average down, career average below 300, but 299 hitter. I think I would put money on him getting his number retired. I mean, I think it's well deserved. The big question is, I think a lot of people will stand by saying his number retired. Is he a Hall of Famer?
Now, Hall of Famer, I'm not as sold on just because, and we're going to get into it in a little bit. If you see some of the names on the Hall of Fame ballot and how low of a percentage of votes they get, I'm not sure he gets in, man. I mean, you have Scott Rowland getting 52.9%. He still has a ways to go. You got a Todd Helton at 44.9%.
But those guys are going to be, I think he's going to be in that group of guys. I think he's going to be on the ballot for 10 years or like 8 to 10, and then he's going to muster up some votes. Because I think if you look at his resume, granted, if he had over 300, that would have helped his case a little more. You could say he's a 300 career hitter. But MVP, Rookie of the Year, MVP back-to-back years. He has multiple championships. Played with one team the entire time. Not really any scandals when he played. He was a player of the community. He was a face of the franchise for many years. He was good representation of the league. Like, I think he was a good, model player, I would say. I mean, some people give him crap for the Machado incident, but I mean, the thing that Pedroia will have a problem with it getting in is the end of his career, which isn't his fault. It's just injuries. Like, people are going to look at that and dock him, but I think he deserves to be in there.
So I might get dragged for this, but I'm going to compare him to a Jeff Kent, who's also on the ballot.
Yeah.
Jeff Kent, similar, one MVP, 290 hitter, played second and first base.
Mhm.
He's on his 8th year on the ballot, and he only has 32.4%.
Like I said, there's a chance he doesn't get in. I think he should be in. I think that's better representation. That's probably a better way to phrase it. But he's going to be like these guys, like Scott. I'm looking at the list right now. He's going to be like Scott Rowland, Omar Vizquel.
Well, Scott Rowland still has 6 years to do it, and he has plenty of time to make up the ground. When I compare him to a Jeff Kent, my worry is that 8 years in, and he's still like over 40% of the way away from it.
I think 8 years in, I think he'd be higher. I think he'd be more of like a Todd Helton. Third year in, he's at 40%, maybe a little lower than that, but maybe like an Andrew Jones. 4th years in, he's at 33%. And then he can muster up another, it's going to depend on his class and stuff like that. This whole Hall of Fame voting is a sham. So
we'll have a better idea once he has his first year and we see where it comes out to.
Right. I do think he should remain on with some of these people that made it through to another year on the ballot. He definitely deserves to stay on the ballot for
Yeah, Barry Zito got bounced. Do we want to just get into it?
Yeah, let's get into it. Obviously, the Hall of Fame voting happened. It happened mid last week. We all know my feeling of the Hall of Fame. If you don't, I think it's an absolute disgrace. I think it's watered down. And granted, if you ask me, based on who gets in, I think Pedroia should get in. Do I think Pedroia is a slam dunk Hall of Famer? No. And in many regards, I think that should mean he doesn't get in. But based on who's getting in, I think he deserves to be in. And the way that they do the voting is just ridiculous. But no one got in this year. Curt Schilling, Roger Clemens, and Barry Bonds all missed it. They're going to their 10th vote next year. Well, maybe not Curt Schilling. He has to be taken off the ballot. My main thoughts from this is do I agree with Curt Schilling politically? No. Do I think he's an idiot post-career? Yes. But I don't let that affect. I think that's a lot of people don't have, people argue with, this is the argument. I look at what he did between the lines during his career, and if you can tell the story of baseball without this person. And I don't believe you can. This guy was an absolute animal. He had, hold on, let's see here. I have this all. I came with receipts.
I was gonna say, dude, you were ready to go.
I'm
ready for you to pop off on these people.
All right. First of all you nerds out there that war, those analytics of war, Curt Schilling, all time. Now, people may think this is bad, but out of the thousands of players to play, Curt Schilling is 65th of all time players. That's just players wise. So, the offensive players and pitchers, he's 65th all time. Out of pitchers, he's 26th. Here's a fun fact for you, Danny Football. Out of the top 30 pitchers of all time, WAR pitching numbers of all time, there is only 4 pitchers not in the Hall of Fame. One of them is Curt Schilling. Do you know the other three?
Three?
If you had to take a guess.
Can you give me their teams?
One is active, 2 are not active. So that's why one's not in the Hall. All right.
Is one Bartolo Colon?
No. At 30, Justin Verlander.
Oof.
He's active, so he has no chance of being in the Hall of Fame so far. But I think we both agree he's going to be in the Hall of Fame.
He's a Hall of Famer.
He's a Hall of Famer. At 27, Jim McCormick. Yes. Who is that? He played before 1900. So
man.
there was no electricity going on there. He's from the UK. Forget it. Like, we're dealing with someone that didn't know what the internet was, so we'll count him out. And then third all-time WAR, Roger Clemens. So there's only one other player above him that's not been in the Hall of Fame in pitching WAR, and that's Roger Clemens. And looking at like all-time players WAR, like I said, he was 65th. There's only 5 players above him. One of them is Pete Rose. Is a sham. He's not in the Hall of Fame. Adrian Beltre, who I think we'd both agree he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. He just hasn't been on the ballot yet. Albert Pujols, who hasn't been on the ballot yet, is active, and he'll get in the Hall of Fame. I think even though I think he was part of the steroid era, but we won't get into that. And then A-Rod, which all you cowards who are saying that Barry Bonds shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame, I guarantee A-Rod's going to be in the Hall of Fame. So I'd love to see what they have to say. And then Roger Clemens obviously is up there too. So he's one of the only players that is not in the Hall of Fame that can be in the Hall of Fame at where he's at. He's 15th all time in Ks, 86th in wins. He has 3 World Series in 2 different leagues. He has a World Series MVP under his belt. He has I think he led the league in wins. He led the league in Ks a couple times. Multiple All-Star appearances. Like, this guy should be in the Hall of Fame. Like, it's absolutely insane. I get that he's an idiot, but when Barry Zito is getting a vote for the Hall of Fame, Barry Zito is getting a vote for. You're saying Barry Zito is better than Curt Schilling, career-wise?
Not me.
That's absolutely ridiculous. Erasmus Ramirez got 4 votes. Tim Hudson got 21 votes. Who is this guy? LaTroy Hawkins got 2 votes. Like, come on, people. Like, I get you don't agree with him, and I get he's an idiot, but looking at his career, he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I don't agree with everyone's views, and I think some people are absolute morons. I hate A-Rod. I really don't. I dislike him a lot. I dislike Barry Bonds. I dislike Roger Clemens. Well, I don't really dislike Roger Clemens. It's kind of like that gray area. But I dislike A-Rod. I think he should be in the Hall of Fame. I really do. I don't think you can tell the story of baseball without Alex Rodriguez. I really don't. So I just feel like the way they vote for the Hall of Fame is so messed up, and it really is just ridiculous. It really grinds my gears that some guy that leads the league, like Roger Clemens, who is one of the greatest pitchers of all time. Curt Schilling, he's not top 5 pitchers of all time, maybe not even top 10, but he's definitely up there in pitchers of all time. And Barry Bonds, who is one of the greatest hitters of all time, is not in your Hall of Fame. That's ridiculous.
That was every bit of the rank I was hoping you were to get. I was worried when you started. I was like, he's not getting as mad as I thought he was going to do, and you lit it up, man.
Hey, I have a question for you, Danny Football. These are fun facts. You want some fun facts? I love the fun facts thing. Only 2 top 15, Roger Clemens and Curt Schilling, the only 2 top 15 in all-time Ks not in the Hall of Fame. There's only 2 players to lead a major stat category all time and not be in the Hall of Fame. You know who they are?
Clemens and Rose.
Clemens and Rose. No. Barry Bonds and Rose. I thought Clemens led the league in strikeouts. He's 3rd.
Oh, he's behind Ryan. I think Ryan has the record.
Yeah, Nolan Ryan had a ridiculous amount of strikeouts. But Barry Bonds and Pete Rose are not in your Hall of Fame, which is atrocious. Top 20 in home runs not to be in the Hall of Fame. You want to take a guess at who they are?
I'm assuming Bonds is somewhere in there.
Bonds is definitely up there.
A-Rod's in there.
A-Rod.
Sosa, McGuire.
Yep. Pujols. Manny Ramirez.
Right.
David Ortiz and Rafael Palmeiro.
Oh my God, Rafael Palmeiro.
Who he took the brunt of the steroid era. I remember I went to my first Orioles game back in the day, and I was all fired up to see Rafael Palmeiro play. And it was that a weekend that the news came out about steroids and he tested positive. I missed the first game that he was suspended for.
Jeez.
I never saw him again. He disappeared off the face of the earth. Like I was looking for it and I never got to see him. But I mean, it's just like it's ridiculous. I mean, I could go on and on, like looking at it, like it's absolutely atrocious that these guys and Barry Zito. I love Barry Zito. Don't get me wrong, but the fact that people think he should be in the Hall of Fame over Curt Schilling, Roger Clemens, Barry Bonds, Manny Ramirez is like absolutely insulting. Like that's insulting.
So you know how I work, man. We've gone over it with football plenty of times. I'm a big kind of like say their name, think their name, and it's just kind of like immediate for me. Like you say Tom Brady is like Hall of Famer, easy. When you say Curt Schilling, it's Hall of Famer. I mean, World Series MVP, NLCS MVP, 3-time World Series champion.
He was an ace on 3 different teams.
I mean, that's a Hall of Famer. Same with Roger Clemens. I mean, 7 Cy Young awards, 2 World Series championships, a league MVP. Player of the year. You like go down the list. Roger Clemens is a Hall of Famer. Barry Bonds is a Hall of Famer. Pete Rose is a Hall of Famer. I'd argue for Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa based on the freaking home run race alone. So you have all sorts of names that aren't going to get in because the baseball writers have this vendetta against quote unquote cheaters when there's no basis for it. But at the same time, I don't understand why they get a vote as it is. So it's just going to continue to be like this until something changes with the voting committee or how they vote. Because the way it's going right now, you're going to have so many people who are integral to the growth and popularity of the game that won't get their recognition as a Hall of Famer, which is sad.
2 things also. I couldn't agree more. One thing is Bud Selig. I think he was a good commissioner. He was the commissioner during the steroid era. He let the steroid era go down. He's in the Hall of Fame. Why is he not in? Why is he not taken out? If Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, Mark McGwire, Manny, I mean, he hasn't been in there yet, but A-Rod, all these guys who were breaking the rules. It was like the height of the steroid era when he was the commissioner. Why is he allowed in? Like, I think he should be taken out.
I just hate that it's the writers who get to do it because we've seen writers we saw writers not vote in Dwight Evans because he was mean to them during his playing career. It's ridiculous.
And I mean, Curt Schilling sorry, go ahead.
The only saving grace is that they didn't besmirch the name of Mike Piazza and they did vote him in. I'm a big Mike Piazza guy. So I knew there were rumblings.
Tell the game without him.
I knew there were rumblings like back in the day, like when he was coming up on the ballot of, oh, well, he played in the steroid era. We can't prove that he took steroids, but he was there. And then I was like, if you guys don't vote him in as one of the greatest catchers of all time, there's a problem.
The other thing is there's people in there. I'm not going to say who. You can look it up. But there's people in the Hall of Fame with much worse backgrounds and criminal charges on their resume than Curt Schilling, Barry Bonds, and Roger Clemens combined. Like, there is some scumbags in the MLB Hall of Fame. Take them out. If you're going to be mad at Curt Schilling for tweeting, then take those guys out that have caught a case. Like, that's like this is ridiculous. Like, it's absolutely insane. The thing can't wait to see is, I think we all agree David Ortiz is the first ballot Hall of Famer. I don't think anyone's going to disagree. But I want to see the steroid people that are standing on their soapbox. What's going to happen with A-Rod? David Ortiz never tested positive. Well, he did test positive something, but he, there was a little different. But what about David Ortiz? Like, is David Ortiz going to catch some flack?
He 100% is. He
100% is. I mean, Justin Morneau is probably going to be in. He should be in. He's a Hall of Famer. Prince Fielder. Is Prince Fielder going to catch some flack for how he went out with his career? And, he was part of a little bit in the steroid era. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Ryan Howard was like, I don't think he ever tested positive for steroids, but he's like a big guy in that. Like, he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, I believe.
I don't know about that.
Really?
We'll get in. We can take.
Yeah, we'll have to look at his numbers
next year. But I'll close with this. I've said it a couple times already. The writers shouldn't have a vote. Someone needs to take Dan Shaughnessy's lunch money, man. I hate that guy. I've had enough
He's
of
an
him
idiot.
I've had enough of him using his Hall of Fame ballot as a fucking prop. It needs to stop.
How I think they should do, and I'll leave the Hall of Fame discussion like this. I think it should be a blind vote. You get a list of
Statistics.
career stats. You look at the career stat, no name, and you judge it based on that. If you think the career stats equal the Hall of Fame, you vote him in.
Or you can just make it completely statistics based and say if your stats are close to or above this average of stats, you are in.
Right. And I mean, part of that, like, I get it. I mean, if you're hitting crazy stats, you're going to be in the Hall of Fame. And I get some people make the Hall of Fame based on their impact on the game.
Mm-hmm.
Might not have the greatest stats in the league.
And that's what the Veterans Committee is for.
Right. So it's ridiculous. They should have a little bit of everyone. Like, the players should have a say. The
coaches,
writers,
GMs,
I guess,
owners
should have a say. The owners, coaches, I think they all should have a say. And it all equals into who gets in. So that's my soapbox. Welcome to my TED Talk. Thanks for listening. But it is ridiculous that this guy is not in the National Baseball Hall of Fame because he's an idiot, but because of Twitter. That's why he's not in. All right, so wrapping it up, we're going to get into our last segment of the night, the people's topic.
It's the people's topic, baby! People's topic.
Reminder, you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Big Red Zone. Write in us there. We do the people's topic every week. You can also write into YouTube on our YouTube channel, leave it in the comments. Subscribe to the channel. Quest to 100 subscribers is still on. Producer John, take it away.
Start on Twitter from Justin_Lavoy5. He has two questions, actually. First, Pedroia. Pedroia, the legend, one of the greatest. He didn't add any commas in here. Hold on. Pedroia, the legend. Pedroia, the legend. Hold on.
This is ELA in middle school, man. Come on.
Pedroia, the legend, one of the greatest Red Sox players. Oh. Okay. He's just saying that as a topic. Okay. Covered it. Nailed it. Boom.
All right. Yep. Agree.
Second, if you haven't touched on this, would you even want to be a teammate of Bradley Beal after seeing his lack of effort just because his team is not very good? It looked bad.
I mean, considering how much this guy has given to the Wizards organization over the course of his career, I think he's allowed to be frustrated over his team getting the shit kicked out of it.
Yeah, but that I know what he's talking about. That Twitter clip. I'm a big Bradley Beal defender, but that clip was bad, man. That body language was bad. If you're gonna be like that, might as well just say I'm sitting out. Like, I would understand it more if he just said, all right, I'm sitting out.
I don't know, man. I kind of give him the benefit of the doubt. Like, you have one bad night or you're just a little fed up and it kind of shows, but it's not like it's a habit of his, so I'll kind of give him the benefit of the doubt.
Give him the benefit of the doubt for now, and we'll see.
If it keeps happening, then yeah, it's a problem.
Like, did you see the clip?
I did, but if it's going to be a one-off thing, I don't have a huge deal with it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Justin. Instagram. From @DennisBagels.
The Bagel
Man.
He's a fan of the show. He's written in a couple times. Wrote in a couple times. Written in.
What is the biggest sports moment of 2021 so far? Brady going to his 10th Super Bowl. Poirier. Oh, right, the UFC dude. Poirier or Edge's Royal Rumble win.
Edge's Royal Rumble win.
Did you write this in?
Edge's Royal Rumble win by far. I did not think he was going to run the gamut last year.
That was nuts. Imagine how was he in his 40s or something?
47.
Jeez, almost a 50-year-old man making him wrestle for an hour.
47-year-old man enters the Royal Rumble at number 1, lasts an hour, and throws Randy Orton out.
That was nuts. Why'd they make him wrestle for an hour? That's mean.
Just to show that he can.
You know how much money he should like he had to have gotten a payday to be like, hey, look, you're gonna do this for an hour.
I think they get paid extra at the Rumble. They have incentives at the Rumble.
Let me tell you something. They don't even get an hour in their yard at the nursing home that he's at. So I think he deserves a little extra money. I don't have any.
I heard a
stadiums.
thing where it's like, so isn't like a football game's like 3 hours? I guess there's like a study saying like of those 3 hours, there's like 12 minutes of action or something.
true.
I don't know if that's true, but I heard like if they count all up, it's like 12 minutes of actual action in a football game. Edge lasted an hour. Tom Brady only has to go for 12 minutes, spanned out within 3 hours.
I think you need to check your facts there. But,
Yeah, I don't know. Where I got that from.
Big Red,
judging
what's
from what
yours?
you said, I mean, a 47-year-old man wrestling for an hour, that's a big deal. But I didn't see it, so I'm going to go with Tom Brady making it
If
to his
Big
10th.
Red didn't see it, it didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
That's true.
You forgot that.
Wow, listen to this. The average amount of actual action in an NFL game has been calculated to be between 11 and 15 minutes.
Well,
The
it's
other
15
3
minutes.
hours or so are covered by replays, advertisements, color commentary, blah, 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 blah.
There's 15 minutes a quarter.
Yeah, but of action, of like between like when the ball is hiked and
Yeah.
then between when the guy is sacked, I guess is what they're counting. So if you add all that time up of like actual,
What's this-
not to
what's
put a
this study
damper
out
on
of?
the Super
What's
Bowl
this
coming
study
up
out
next
of?
week.
What's this study out? Where's this study out of?
Forbes.com is where that
Yeah,
came
I don't
from.
believe it. Forbes more like fibs.
Whoa.
Nice. All right. Next question. I guess I'd pick Edge. I'd pick Edge now, depending on what happens. Like, I don't know what's going to happen on Sunday. You know, like if Brady
He made
wins,
it to 10.
but I'm saying if Brady wins, it might put it over Edge.
Brady goes for a 99-yard rushing touchdown.
That also.
That's only Danny Etling.
Ooh, thank you. Thank you. People forget the longest run in Patriots franchise history, Danny Etling.
At the Andy Man 11.
Ooh, AJ.
Who would you rather on your fantasy team in a 2 QB dynasty? Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen?
Josh Allen, White Lightning.
Yeah, I'd go Josh Allen. I think it's. I mean, Lamar Jackson's going to give you a lot of rushing yards, which help.
But Allen's going to give you both.
going to give you both.
I'll go Edge. Joseph _ Celia.
No intro for Joseph _
Oh,
I mean,
Mr.
give him
John.
one.
Alright.
Give him one.
on this day, we see clearly Joseph Celia.
My country, 'tis of thee. Kind of a similar note. Which QB would you rather have? MVP Cam Newton or MVP Lamar Jackson?
That's
Man,
tough.
Probably go Edge again, man.
People
Both-
forget how good
both
Cam Newton
were
was.
cheat codes, man. In their MVP years, damn. Give me MVP Newton because he made it further in the playoffs.
Yeah, but he didn't do anything in the Super Bowl.
Oh, how? Okay, Lamar Jackson didn't make it out of the divisional round.
That's true. Yeah, I'd probably go Cam Newton. I'd go Cam Newton. He didn't really have much on that team either offensively.
See, lemon out of lemonade. Whoop, lemonade out of lemons. Whoops.
Lemon.
Lemonade out of
He
lemon.
forced the lemonade back into the lemon.
And as you know, that
Lemonade
does it.
into lemon.
And that'll do it.
And that's it for People's Topic. Remember, you can write in any time of the week on our Instagram and Twitter at Big Red Zone. We'll hear your comments every week, and we'll read them out like Joseph _ Celia. That's about it. Next week, we're going to have a Super Bowl champion. Will Tom Brady win his seventh? Seventh, right? Seventh.
Mm-hmm.
Or will he lose another one?
Will he lose?
That's
another one?
what they say.
Next
That's
week's
what
gonna
they
be
say.
that'll be the big
Super
Super Bowl.
It's going to
fallout
be.
show.
I'll definitely say it's definitely one of the highest anticipated Super Bowls
Big stakes, baby.
we've had for a while. Like last year was like at Super Bowl is always fun, but like this one is like I
You
feel
know what
like it's
stinks though?
more
Like how exciting it is. We can't get with like 15 of our friends and have like a big party and all that.
I mean,
I
you
don't have
could.
friends.
It's just
Yeah. I guess you
Frowned upon.
physically could.
you could do it. It just wouldn't be a good idea.
yeah. I don't have friends, so
I'm your friend, dude. We'll toss it on
we'll
Zoom.
toss
bro.
a Zoom. Should we do a Zoom Big
We'll
Red Zone Zoom
we'll
call?
Zoom the Super Bowl, and
We'll
then
have to
get
stop every 40
Yeah.
minutes.
and then we'll get we'll get arrested because we streamed the Super Bowl, but it'll all be worth it.
No.
No, not us.
Well, Till next time, thank you, Danny Football, for joining. Producer John. Have a great week, everyone.